Hey all, it's me PrettyTAF and welcome to the video. Today we'll be looking at every damage output possible from the DMR 14 in Cold War Zombies. It's the last DMR you unlock from the game, so you'd expect it to be the best since you didn't level up for no reason. So this is it, let's find out. In this video we'll look at everything from damages at tier levels, pack-a-punch damages, TTKs, DPS and in-class comparisons. Note these damage values are subject to change across time at the discretion of the developers. Be sure to check out my zombies database also that I've been working on in the description and in the pinned comment below. So when you start off with the DMR 14 at common, per shot it deals 58 damage to the body, 159 to the head and 14 to armor. For uncommon it's 87 to the body, 239 to the head and 22 to armor. For rare it's 116 to the body, 319 to the head and 29 to armor. For epic it's 174 to the body, 478 to the head and 43 to armor. And for legendary, it's 232 to the body, 638 to the head, and 58 to armor. So now that we know how much damage the DMR 14 does at each tier, what percentage increase follows each tier upgrade? Let's have a look. At common tier, it doesn't increase because it's a starting damage, so it's 0%. For uncommon, it's 50%, rare is 100%, epic is 200%, and legendary is 300%. This is the normal increase of damage that you'll find that should really apply to every weapon universally, but it varies from weapon to weapon, hence why I've done the research into it. Unlike the Type 63, the 14 follows the typical upgrading pattern, which is surprising, but in the end it probably contributes to its damage output when you compare it to the other weapons in class, but you'll find out more about that at the end of the video. So now onto the part which you're probably here for the most. I'm going to show you the pack-a-punch damages at every tier and level. But firstly, here's the PAP level damages from common to rare. Do with these as you wish, but I'm going to focus more on the epic and legendary pack-a-punch damages, since you'll be relying on those most to survive. So without further ado, here is the damage per shot at epic level. At epic pack-a-punch level 1, you deal 348 to the body, 957 to the head, and 87 to armor. For level 2, it's 696 to the body, 1914 to the head, and 174 to armor. And for level 3, it's 1392 to the body, 3828 to the head, and 348 to armor. And at legendary tier, pack-a-punch level 1, you're looking at a body damage of 464, 1276 damage to the head, and 116 to armor. For legendary level 2, it's 928 to the body, 2552 to the head, and 232 to armor. And for legendary level 3, it's 1856 to the body, 5104 to the head, and 464 to armor. Here is also the logic system that DMR follows in order to get the different damage values. As was to be expected, the DMR 14 follows the typical logic patterns. This weapon seems to be quite the plain chain. So for the armor logic, you divide the body damage by 4. The body logic, you take the body damage and times it by 2, which gives you the base level 1 pack-a-punch body damage. For head logic, you increase it by 2.75 times because a 2.75 multiplier for headshots. And the pack-a-punch logic, every time you pack-punch it, it increases the damage by 2. So now that we've picked apart every damage the DMR 14 can output, how well does the DMR 14 fare you when the zombies are at round 41 with a max health of 30,000? Now we will have a look at the TTK, DPS and how much damage the 14 does when paired with Ring of Fire. So if maxed out at all perks and upgrades, per shot it does 1856. It has a body DPS of 12,373. It takes 17 shots to kill at max health, and it has a body TTK of 2.4 seconds. For critical per shot, you're looking at 10,208 damage. It has a critical DPS of 68,053. It takes 3 critical shots to kill, and it has a critical TTK of 0.3 seconds. And finally, for armor, you're looking at a damage of 696 per shot, and has an armor DPS of 4,640. When you pair it with the Ring of Fire increases damage by 5, so how much damage does the DMR output when paired with Ring of Fire? Per shot, it deals 9,280 damage. It has a body DPS of 61,866. It takes 4 shots to the body to kill, and it has a body TTK of 0.45 seconds. For Ring of Fire critical, it deals 51,040 damage per shot. It has a critical DPS of 340,266. It takes 1 critical shot to kill, and the TTK is instantaneous, so it's an insta-kill. And finally, Ring of Fire armor is 3,480 per shot, and it has an armor DPS of 23,200. So given everything that we've figured out, everything that we've researched, and everything that we now know, how well does the DMR14 compare with the rest of the weapons in class? Let's have a look. Considering the DMR is so loved in Warzone, the results may well surprise you when it comes to zombies. In terms of damage per shot at Legendary before being pack-punched, the DMR14 is the third best used, so second to last, dealing more damage than the AUG, which is the weakest Legendary per shot weapon, and being beaten by the M16. In terms of damage per shot when you pack-punch it, the DMR is the third best, second to last again, losing out to the same weapons as the last time, the AUG and the M16. When you max it out with all perks and pack-punched and tiers, in terms of damage per second, the DMR14 is the worst. Even though it feels like a nice weapon to use, the damage per second is marginally less than the Type 63, but it's miles behind the M16 and the AUG since the 14 is a single-shot rifle, which, to be fair, doesn't surprise me. And finally, in terms of damage per shot when maxed, it's the same criteria as last. The DMR is last again. It deals 277 body damage less than the Type 63, 1,522 critical damage less than the 63, and 103 armor damage less than the 63. So pretty much, the DMR14 sucks. It deals less damage than even the next single-shot rifle, so man, pretty much in summary, the DMR14 is the worst tactical rifle on Cold War zombies. Maybe the max barrel damage setups can tip the scales, but I don't think it has a chance of beating the burst-fire AUGs and the M16s. But it might be the Type 63, so we'll have to see. And that, ladies and gents, is the end of this video, and the end of the tactical rifle damage profiles. If you haven't seen them all, and you want to find them, they're in the playlist below. Thanks all for watching, and tune in next time where we pick apart every assault rifle damage profile to see which is the best. Like and sub as always, and don't forget to check out the database below. See you next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and goodbye.